Okay, and then I'm going to do my completely monotone intro here.
Completely nude as well.
No, I'm a Donald Duck in it. Shirt, no pants.
And hat, too.
And hat, too.
Hat, shirt, no pants.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Jane's Got a Pod, a podcast dedicated to the films of actor, writer, director, and musician Thomas Jane. Tonight's episode is 2009's Dark Country, Thomas Jane's directorial debut. Here to discuss this flick is...
Gary Davis.
All right. Before we begin, Gary.
Yes.
What's your experience with Thomas Jane before I made you do this thing?
I had no idea who he was.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He wasn't like that guy? Like you didn't recognize
Well, okay, I will give you... Yeah, he was like that guy. But, like, see, he's in a lot of movies that, like, I would never watch without being prompted to. Does that make sense?
That's why I was surprised you picked this film.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to go into why I picked it?
Hang on. That's actually a question I got coming up.
Okay, good.
Don't go ahead in front of the script. Okay.
I can't see the script.
Yeah, no, so don't.
So don't go ahead of it.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so so Dark Country was released October 9th, 2009 with an estimated budget of $4 million. It sits at a whopping 27% audience score at Rotten Tomatoes. Nothing on the splatometer.
What is the splatometer?
The people from Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
And a 5.3 out of 10 at Internet Movie Database.
Yeah.
Okay. Gary.
Yes.
I actually wrote Gary.
Good that you remember my name. Insert name here.
I wrote a lot of for my other podcast. I write all of my side tracks down so I don't forget.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. This is good planning.
Yeah, thank you. Gary, I asked you to Google Jane's filmography and pick a flick.
I did.
Yes. What drew you to this one? What were your thoughts on the flick before watching it?
Okay. Firstly, I was going through a bunch of ones that I had seen, like Thin Red Line and stuff like that, which, by the way, go back and look at how many people are in that are now stars. Incredible. Yeah. Like John Travolta. He was a star before that. Sean Penn was in it.
Sizemore?
I forget the rest of the names, but there's a lot. And then I was going to pick Deep Blue Sea because the Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten by a shark in it. Right. It's hilarious.
You have seen that one?
It's been probably like 20 years since I've seen that.
That doesn't.
That might not be possible.
Knowing you, that doesn't seem like a. No, it's 1999, isn't it? I'll continue. I'm gonna look up the.
Okay. So anyway, I looked at those. Then I was going to do we could do a theme because then there was USS Indianapolis, which I'm guessing was straight to DVD.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's got Nick Cage in it.
Yeah, so yes.
But it's straight to DVD. Nick Cage post 2005. Just terrible.
Deep Blue Sea, 1999.
Got it. Yeah. So almost 20 years.
Yes.
Which I did not see when it came out, so it must have been 15. We'll just call it that. And USS Indianapolis is about people getting eaten by sharks too. I think that's the part of the story they picked. Anyway, whatever. So I was looking through it and reading the synopsis and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, this one sounds kind of interesting because it sounds like you and I have talked about this before, old time radio shows.
Yeah. Are you still listening to those? You told me last. Okay, cool.
So there is a show back in the 40s or 50s or 30s. Don't quote me. Called Suspense.
Oh, I'm quoting you.
Where they do a lot of these like this. And one of my favorite ones is one where this guy is traveling down the road and he keeps seeing a dark figure on the side of the road. And he gets freaked out about it. He keeps driving through and everything like that. Well, it turns out it was him because he first saw the dark figure on this bridge in New Jersey, and he's driving across the country or whatever. And these people are getting freaked out by him and stuff like that. Keep running away from him. Well, it turns out that you get to the end of the story, he's a ghost. And he died on that bridge, and he keeps seeing himself, but he doesn't see it as himself.
You know who would like that?
Who's that?
Carl Pilkington.
Yes, he would.
Carl.
He would love that.
Yes,
we love Carl. We have a mutual admiration of Carl.
Yes.
So that's what made me pick it because the synopsis starts talking about two people on a road, a couple, they get married, or I don't think it said it got married. I don't know why I brought that up. Anyway,
No,
it
they're married.
No, they are, but I don't think it said that in the synopsis.
Oh,
it might have said newlyweds. But anyway, like the traveling on the road, I was like, okay, and then they meet this traveler. I was like, holy crap, is this story like in film form? Because there's a lot of things in that suspense thing, because like that I think could have been movies, and probably were movies at some point. But it's like the crazy way they wrote those back in the day, and it's just radio, so all you're hearing sound effects. It's really cool.
Cheap bastards.
Cheap bastards.
That's right.
Should have put it on film.
Did you watch the trailer before?
I did not watch the trailer.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts before you watch the film? Or are you just like, just fuck it, let's go?
Before I watched the film, I was kind of like, this could be. I didn't really know what to expect, because I expected a suspense kind of like horror-ish movie. Horror-ish.
The horror movies are our other podcast.
yeah. We do a separate one. Yeah. It's only on Pornhub. But we do. So it was like that kind of thing where I was kind of like, okay, maybe that's what this is. But I hadn't really read a whole lot into it. It just like something piqued my interest. It's like one of those things like once it gets in your mind, you don't really know how it got there. But I was kind of like, this one sounds kind of cool.
Okay. All right. Okay. So before we do. Gary, we're just going to do like a loosey-goosey, shoot from the hip.
I love loosey-goosey.
Synopsis.
It's a fun game.
Speaking of Harrison Ford, he loosey-gooseys his gun as Han Solo.
Yeah. What if he would have missed? That would have been a completely different movie.
That's true.
Like he just pulled it up, bam, and then he realized he just shot, and like he shot the bartender or something like that.
Yeah, good point.
And then they blast him, right?
Yeah, Greedo, yeah.
There's a lot of things like that I think it'd be completely different movies. Like one little thing goes different. It'd be great.
Save that for another podcast.
All right, that's next idea. We're doing that next.
Okay, so anyway, we're going to do a loosey-goosey synopsis of the flick. Okay, kind of go in, talk about not step by step, we'll just loosey-goosey. Talk about things we liked, disliked, and then final comments, and then we'll do our rating of the flick.
Got it.
Yeah? Okay. All right, so spoilers ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so.
If you didn't think there would be spoilers, why did you click on this?
Yes. And if you clicked on this, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for clicking on this, but why?
Yeah. Okay, so the flick opens up on the crane shot of the motel sign.
Yep.
And we get our
sideways.
Thought
it was interesting.
Yes. I did like that. We get the introduction of the reoccurring moth. Is it a moth? Yeah, it's a moth.
I think it's a moth.
Yeah.
It's like a moth to a lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there you go.
A man moth.
A man moth to a lamp.
Anyway, so after that we go into the hotel room, classic noir thriller style. The music.
See, this is why I started watching this, and I texted you and I said, I think you're gonna love this movie.
Yeah.
Because of the noir, like right off the bat, it had that like. What's that sound? Like the jazzy sound stuff?
The saxophone.
Like the smooth, like it was going to be like, and then there was narration.
The muted trumpet,
Yeah, the muted trumpet and everything. I knew you were going to love it.
You get the shot of the outside lights cutting through the blinds.
Yep. Which I never noticed that until you brought that up. I see that in every movie now.
Yeah.
Not every movie, but
you're welcome.
It wasn't in Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, good point.
Because it was underwater.
You are introduced to what I'm assuming is a naked Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
You think he's a boxers or briefs man?
I think he goes commando. But when he doesn't, I bet you he goes boxers.
Okay. All right. Okay. The color palette in the hotel is just like over the top, like the lights outside the window. I remember one cut. They were like, it was like red outside, and it was yellow. Right off the bat, it was just very comic booky.
Yes,
I felt like
I got that feel too. Like it was very much of. They did a good job of making you know that this was basically supposed to be like Vegas or like around Vegas,
right?
Like trash Vegas.
Okay,
that's a new term.
Okay, so the movie instantly. Man, I got a little echoey there. Sorry. I leaned back. The movie ticked off a lot of boxes for me. Noir, inner monologue.
Thomas
Jane. He's got two different hairstyles. He's got really long hair and short cropped.
Yeah.
He's Thomas Jane, so whatever he wants to do, I'm cool with.
Right.
I like him in the short crop.
Yeah.
So that checked off a box for me. The noirish soundtrack. But I felt like towards the end of the opening, the trumpet got really annoying.
Okay, so this is where I jumped in and I kind of thought this movie doesn't know what it wants to be. Like once it gets going into there.
I remember you texting me that. Is this where? So
it was like 15 minutes in. They were about to leave the hotel and everything like that, and everything like that, and it just like got to a point where I was kind of like, okay, we get it, Yeah,
I remember you sending that to me, but I didn't want you to go into it because I wanted.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's where it was.
That's where I got. Okay. I got to like they're getting ready to leave and everything like that, and I said, I don't think this movie knows what it wants to be.
No, because he was telling her some story about a blonde chick he saw on a elevator or something, and he goes, "I've always wanted to be with a blonde chick, and now I am."
Yeah.
Which is that like a? We'll get back to that later.
Yeah. Put a pin in that.
Okay, so also in the I'm bad at talking in the mics. Also into the hotel room, we are introduced to our femme fatale of the flick, Gina, played by Lauren German. I did not know who she was.
She's French.
She's Welsh.
Yeah, she's Welsh.
I looked her up. Most people will know her from Lucifer or The Divide or Chicago Fire. But did you see?
Oh, she's in Chicago Fire. I didn't know.
Yeah,
not that I've ever seen that.
Have you?
But
have you seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, the one with Jessica Biel in
it? I believe so.
Do you remember the chick, the hitchhiker they pick up?
Gun.
She's crying.
She pulls out the gun out of her. Yeah, we got it.
Or her butt.
Yeah,
that's her.
That's why I've seen that face before.
Yeah.
Because it didn't click right away, but like later in the movie, which we'll get to that point, like that, I was like, I've seen this because it's like all the dirtied and like messed up. Yeah. I was like, I've seen this girl before.
That's why I looked her up.
That's totally where it is.
Okay.
That makes a lot more sense.
In the script, I wrote.
That's a very like messed up scene, by the way.
In the script, I didn't want to write the V word, so I put V word or butt.
V word or butt? The V butt, the front butt.
The front butt.
Pull it out of her front.
Nature's pocket.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're introduced. So stupid. So we're introduced.
We're gonna have to do this more.
So we have a whole filmography to do.
Good, I like it.
We're introduced to our two main characters, Dick or Richard, and Gina. They met. Did I miss it, or did I just assume that they just got drunk, met, and...
I have an admission. I didn't even know his name was Dick until later in the movie.
I had
no idea.
I didn't either. That's why.
That's why I thought they didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I when you said her name was Gina, I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds right. I had no idea if that's her.
I had to look it up too. I didn't know it.
All right, good.
I didn't know.
Like, I don't think they established that.
Yeah, but you don't really need. I mean, there's so few actors. There's so few actors in this movie.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. The credits. We'll get that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're introduced to our main characters. Like I said, I'm assuming they just got drunk and met in Vegas and got married. That's the way it felt.
Yeah. Like. But they're really connected for being drunk and met in Vegas. I feel like that's not how that's ever gone.
Yeah. Okay.
In Vegas.
I
don't know.
This is more for the nerdy things. So Thomas Jane goes to the vending machine and gives her breakfast. He hands her a soda can that says raw cola on it. Did you notice that?
No.
Okay. Well, I think supposedly there's a DVD with commentary on it, so this is probably...
We should watch that.
We should watch it. We should do a commentary on the commentary.
We should do a commentary on the commentary. Commentary on commentary. That's
so I'm assuming this probably isn't news or anything, but he hands her a soda that says raw cola on it. Mm-hmm. Him, Steve Niles, and Timothy Bradstreet own a film company called Raw Studios.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me they owned a cola company, and it was like the product placement, like a shoe. This is actually just an hour and a half long advert for Raw Cola.
But you know what I missed? No one was eating an apple to look like an asshole.
That's unfortunate because you kind of missed out. You needed we'll get to that too.
Okay.
This is going to be a lot of that's what we should have called the podcast. We'll get to that.
There's also going to be a lot of referring to other better YouTube/podcasts.
Yes.
Okay. And probably
we're trying to establish our name.
Yes, yeah.
We want to be as famous as them one day and take them over, but until that point, we kind of need name recognition.
So from the hotel, we go to the diner. Okay,
She's not in the diner.
She's not in the diner. She's in the car. Was it the gas station / diner?
Yeah, it seems kind of like it was all in one things.
Okay, so So the whole movie at this point is kind of timeless. It's kind of, the hotel kind of exists in a timeless time period. It's like 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
The diners like.
And then
50s.
there's like a 2009 VW Beetle that drives down the road. I saw that.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to more of that later. But I don't know if it was because did you stream it?
Yes.
Okay. What streaming service?
Amazon.
Okay, so I found it for free on
other streaming services are available.
Yes. So I found it on Sony's Crackle. So I don't know if it was just a streaming service because whenever I stream a movie,
so you had to like watch it with ads.
Which ads? Yeah.
That sucks.
Which was good because I didn't want to take notes during the movie. So whenever the ads came on, I grabbed my
notebook
and I was like furiously writing down notes.
There goes almost. I don't want to know about Bounty. God.
So up in the corner it says like ad 1 of 5. I'm like, okay, good. I got 5 ads.
It's like a countdown.
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
Yeah. No. Okay. So the audio was really. I don't know if it was my copy, but so he's paying for something,
right?
And then there's a gentleman sitting in a booth, and he talks.
Yes.
He starts talking about his wife,
yeah.
But the audio is really rough.
Yeah.
Or was that just?
I think it's supposed to be his voice is very rough.
Okay. And he was talking to Dick as if he knew his wife.
Right.
And then
notice there was like right next to the register there was a picture of a girl and it said missing and it was that girl's face.
No, I didn't notice that one, but at later on in the rest area there's a missing couple.
So it's this it was a blonde girl and I think they only show you for a moment just so you could get a glimpse of it.
Okay.
But I was like, crap, did he like kidnap this girl and she doesn't know it? Like
gotcha.
That's where I thought that movie was going.
Okay.
And this guy was like an FBI agent chasing him down or something like that.
Well, so there's the guy in the diner.
But a real dick about it. Because like not the way the FBI would work either. They're not going to be like, I'm going to play games with this guy. They're going to come and bust you like as soon as they can. They're going to be like, well, pretty wife you got there, and then come and arrest you. They're not going to do that. Oh, by the way, can I add something?
Yeah.
He didn't need an apple to look like an asshole, but that whole disheveled look of like the sunglasses inside, everything's like undone, like his shirt and everything like that. Yeah, the very loose. Yeah. That makes you look like an asshole.
He looks pretty good in aviator glasses.
He does.
Yeah, he's got that.
I wish I could pull that off.
He's got right head shape.
I cannot do that.
So
I don't have a head shape for anything.
Is the guy? is
Nothing looks good on my head.
That's not true. That hat looks really good.
Well, yeah, it's because it's got a banana on it.
That's true. So is the guy in the diner the same? So Dick walks out and there's a tracking 360 shot, which I noticed. Thomas Jane, he directed this movie. There's a lot of like, he likes the camera.
He did direct this.
Yeah, he likes having the camera constantly moving, which I thought was okay. I mean, the camera shots weren't ever really motivated. That's why it felt like. Had
he directed movies before this?
No, this was his debut.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and so anyway,
sorry, Thomas Jane, if you listen.
So no, please listen.
Please listen. We don't mean offense.
So he gets out, and there's that 360 shot, and then the car pulls out, and then it pulls. So the car pulls out in the street, and the camera pulls back, and there's a man putting on a fedora.
That's the guy.
That's the same dude.
Inside, yeah.
I thought those were two different characters. No, that's two different characters, ain't it?
No, I'm almost positive it's the same. To Google we go to look this up.
No, it's the internet movie Jaina Base.
Jaina Base. Is that a thing?
No.
Register that right now. February 22nd, this is now registered as the Jaina Base.
Okay, let's see. Dark Country cast. I thought there were two different
I think
characters.
It's the same guy. Because they try to give you that creepy feel right off the bat that this guy's watching them. And I think that's why they show it.
Okay, so we have Thomas Jane, which is Dick.
So did you not hear what the guy said in the diner at all?
I did, yeah. He was talking about how beautiful his wife was, right? Mm-hmm. But it felt...
The audio was kind of messed up. I think it was on purpose.
Okay.
It's almost like that Predator, like the Predator talking kind of thing.
Yeah. Which Thomas Jane just starred in 2018 Predator.
Can I pick that one next?
Yeah, you want?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I guess it's the same guy. He's just quoted as he's just credited as a stranger.
Yeah, it's the same
unless he's the crime scene trooper.
No, that's someone different.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go back to my script here. Okay, so after they leave that, there's the cool title sequence, which it's the car coming right towards the camera. The camera dips down. You see the mountain ranges in the back. Title comes up, which I loved. It reminded me of the old like horror comics.
Yeah.
Macabre type graphics. And then following the title sequence, we get some driving shoe leather, quite a bit of driving shoe leather, this is the only part of the movie that I have a tendency for my mind to wander, and this is like the only time.
You talking like these are the moments where like you pick up your phone and start pressing buttons?
No, I purposely had my phones away from me.
Okay, but moments where I would pick up my phone and start pressing buttons. Yeah.
But I was definitely. But so it's at this point we really get the point that this movie is meant to look like a movie. Like what's in vogue now is everything has to be gritty, realistic.
Should have looked like an old movie. It was trying to look like an older movie.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was like.
You're gonna hate this, but I watched this on my TV with the really high setting.
Oh, so how bad did that look?
It looked terrible. I was gonna bring this up. Well, it looked terrible.
Well,
but I didn't realize till now that that's what that was.
Well. So, like the in vogue thing to do for like me and you went to see like Sicario, is to look like a cinematic realism. Yeah. Whereas this movie was just like, no, this is a fucking pure cinema. Yeah. And they gave you the middle finger if you didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
But there were some really bad composite shots.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Like some of them was meant to look off.
Yes.
And I think I know why some of them look off. We'll get to that later. But some of them looked like my high school AV club stuff.
There were several scenes in this movie where I was like, who approved this? Yeah. Like, who to be like, okay, that looks like crap. We need to reshoot this. Yeah. Was it like them like scared of Thomas Jane to be like, I don't want to get mad at him, but
because I mean, it had a charm to it. It had kind of like
it did.
I like the stars were.
You just have to like suspend your like, okay, it's going to be one of those kind of movies.
Yeah, yeah.
And not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So after the shoe leather, not surprisingly, I got re-engaged during the masturbation / sex scene.
I think everyone got re-engaged in that scene.
Okay, so how do you rate that scene?
As in like how and give me some criteria.
How did it work for you?
Well, it worked for her.
Well, okay. So she starts off by cooling herself with ice. Like that,
the whole time I was just thinking, like, who's looking at the road?
Does anyone do that? That like I've only ever seen that.
I've never seen that, and it was hot though. Yeah, we're in the desert at night. It was hot. Which the desert's not as hot at night.
No, it's really cold.
Kind of cold. Yeah. So
then
Mark 1 Thomas Jane.
So besides the ice thing, which I'm pretty sure is only a movie thing, she then manually starts shifting herself for a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm being PC, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then here's another. Okay, I could be a pervert.
If you're a kid, she was shifting the car.
Yeah, I could be a pervert, but okay. So she's manually shifting, and then she does this. Like, is she showing for people who aren't in the room?
He does this on a podcast.
For the people who aren't in the room, she like lifts her hand,
like she's presenting an apple.
Yeah, is she?
But
like,
there's no apple.
Is she like showing her work? Like, look at my hand.
I think she's trying to show like, hey, check this out.
Like, you like this?
Or like what's on the hand. Which there's nothing on the hand.
Okay,
maybe there's supposed to be something.
So it wasn't just me.
No, I picked up on
Okay, all right. So, or was she just like, ta-da?
I think she was like, I'm done. Ta-da.
Okay, so then after that, Dick.
Or maybe they were going to CGI in like an apple and like poof.
Like,
and it didn't work.
He'd be like, where the fuck
Where did you get an apple from?
You look like an asshole.
That's where that gun came from. Yeah. It makes a lot more sense now.
Oh my God, it's in the same universe.
It's in the same spot. That's what it is. She keeps having stuff come out of her front butt and or her back butt and pull stuff out.
Wouldn't the back butt just be called the butt?
Well, yeah, good point.
Yeah.
But if you have a front, good point. All right, front butt and butt. That's what it is.
So after the ta-da, the magic trick, Dick joins in and starts shifting for her. And then she tells him to turn the lights off. That was why.
Yeah. Because I can only do this with the lights off.
yeah. It's like I can only get off if I know if there's like 90% risk of crash.
There's a serious risk of danger on a dark 2-lane road, mind you.
But what was the point of it?
I don't like. That's where I was really okay. I'm gonna admit something to you here.
Okay.
Like, I got into that movie and like I actually like paused it like a little bit into this point. I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to like I need to go get food or something because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit through this whole thing. Like, I had to be like, okay, this is gonna have to draw me back in.
But so I wasn't sure.
Strange.
Because even if there was a
turn the lights off And speed up, mind you.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen.
Later.
That's
Okay.
no. That's just naturally going to happen. As a male, your foot's just going to. No.
He had both feet off the pedals.
Did you like that?
But he was still
Did you like that car? I was obsessed with that car.
I hated that car.
You didn't like
it.
You didn't like the gear shifts that were like the buttons. That was really
That was kind of cool.
What was all I could
I don't know.
all I could find on the internet was some sort of Dodge, and they had 3 of them, and that was it.
They had 3. Oh, well, yeah, to shoot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was. That's a good question. I'm surprised Google doesn't know that. It's probably because it got a 5.3 on IMDb and no one wants to watch it to analyze it.
But anyway, even if there was an oncoming car and your lights were on and their lights were on, they're not going to see.
Yeah. I'd be scared of this actually happened the other day where I was getting ready to turn and there was a car coming without its lights on and I didn't even see it until my lights hit it and I had to stop. But not only cars, tumbleweeds, I don't know if that causes a problem if you hit those with cars. Probably not good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Animals. I guess there's not really big animals. Like cows. Well, there's not really cows in the desert. Yeah.
Camels.
Fair enough. Do it. Turn the lights off. And if you're driving through the desert, turn your lights off.
Fuck it.
Yeah, who cares? You're not going to hit it.
So anyway, after he gets done shifting, I swear to you, Dick pulls his hands up and smells his finger.
Yeah.
He does. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't just make that up.
Almost positive he did
I
that.
swear to God, I thought I was being a pervert.
No. I
did.
think that happened.
I'm like, I don't want to bring this up because.
Well, I think that's what she's doing with her hand. She's trying to get the aroma of, in the air. Not that you need any help in a small car.
Right, yeah.
But, maybe she's wafting it.
Right.
Maybe that's what it was. It was a waft
like
in
how
the
you.
air.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely smelled his finger.
So
Same thing you kind of do well, never mind.
No, what were you?
I was going to say if you
Poo?
Yeah.
You
Then
smell your poo?
You got to check and make sure. I don't smell my. We're cutting that out.
Okay. So anyway, so he turns the headlights back on. Is that when he runs into bloody face, or no? They drive down the road and they run to the end, and there's the end of the road that flower,
and they turn around.
So what the fuck was
no,
that?
No. They see him. No, you're right. Because then they turn around
and then that's where they hit bloody face.
Yeah.
No, you're right. So he turns the light back on, headlights back on, almost hits bloody face, and then so there's a gentleman out in the middle of the road. As soon as he turns on the light, he swerves out of the way. They miss him.
Yes, and then they stop,
and then they so they pick him up. He's fucked up.
Yeah. Basically dead. Did he get hit by the car?
No. Remember, no.
Because he turned.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't get hit, so they pick him up. Gina tells Dick to go check out the other car. We see there's another car flipped over. Then they go to get him to help at the end of the road where they find the flower, and then they turn back around and they're like, "Hey, where's the
car's gone?
Where's the crash?"
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in all honesty,
yes,
when they picked up Bloody Face,
yeah,
did you know it was Thomas Jane?
No. Is he actually the same? But he doesn't know that because he can't see himself.
I think
it's like him with makeup.
Actually, Thomas Jane played both characters. He played Dick and he played Bloody Face.
Right. I remember seeing that in the credits thing.
Okay, so I think his face was supposed to be so fucked up that he couldn't recognize him because his mouth was all mangled and
his ear was ripped off.
Yeah.
Gross.
Because they kept saying he's missing half his head. I'm like, no, his whole head.
No, his whole head's right there.
Yeah, his whole head. But
he actually has to be missing half his head.
But they kept saying he's missing half his head. I'm like, no, it's right there.
Yeah, why didn't they say something else? He's missing all the skin on the left side of his head.
Yeah,
I can see his skull.
But
I would have believed you because it's dark.
But okay, so I went into this movie. I picked it, or I didn't pick it. I went into the movie scene because this is the one you wanted to pick.
And you'd never seen it.
I had never seen it, so I was really excited. I'm a big Thomas Jane fan, and I've never seen it. And it's not any great detective work on my part, but I instantly knew. I was like, that's Thomas Jane. Because for one, just from the artificial feel of the movie, I was like, this has to be the...
So you knew right away?
Well, I mean, I didn't know.
Yeah. You had an idea.
But I was like, it's got it. Because this to me felt like a Twilight Zone Night Gallery M. Night Shyamalan twist. So I was like Thomas Jane.
Huh.
So
you basically knew, because I didn't know at that point. I was like, well, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah.
And 911 doesn't work. You pick him up and just put him. Meanwhile, if you're watching this movie and want to help someone on the side of the road, do not pick them up like they did that, because like he probably would have broken like everything if they would have done that.
What was
Don't move the patient
I was watching something.
unless you have to.
Fuck! I was watching something. What was I watching? Fuck! I was watching a movie.
Yeah.
And oh god,
you can't even remember what movies are now.
Yeah,
That's how far he's off track. What's a movie?
I was watching a movie and there was an accident and they saved this person, right?
Yeah.
And they saved this person by picking them up over the shoulder, fireman carrying or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next scene,
which you're only supposed to do like if they're gonna blow up.
Yeah, and then the next scene, they're wrapped up on a what do they call those boards that the EMTs use?
Like the backboards.
The backboards, and they're braced
or whatever
down.
it is.
They're braced down, and you hear the EMT goes, "Don't move his neck." I'm like, that
you just moved him.
I'm like, that motherfucker just got fireman carried. He's fine.
Yeah, let's not move his neck now.
Yeah.
Anymore. We might break it further.
God, that's going to, in the middle of the podcast, I'll yell out some random movie.
Yeah.
And I'll finally remember what it is.
Wait for that, listeners.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
We're at this point in the film. Gina, Dick, and Bloodyface are in the car. They're having some dialogue in the car.
And he's lost. Bloodyface isn't awake yet.
No, he's awake.
No, he wasn't. Remember when they first put him back in
the
car?
Right, but I'm talking about when he eventually wakes up. He wakes up and he starts...
Side note, that scene actually kind of got me. Because, like, it was leading up to that point, but then, like, when he just, like, sits up in the back of the car, I kind of, like, sat back a minute, like, on my couch, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Okay, all right.
It got me a little bit.
So he wakes up screaming.
Yeah.
And then he's like, let me out of the car, and he... Seems like he's moving pretty good for getting.
Yeah, which I was like, all right, cool, dude, you're good. Well, we'll see. I gotta go.
Not only that, he smokes a cigarette.
Yeah,
which I loved the imagery. First of all, I love smoking in movies because it's so.
He doesn't love smoking in real life.
Yeah, and I do not actually.
He actually hates it.
For my job, I have to smoke residents, and I hate it.
That needs some context.
I work at a nursing home and I light the residents on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
he just smokes them out of the room. Get out of there, Jerry. Come on. You've been in there for 3 days.
It's time for bingo.
Let's go. Let's get out of there.
Smoke them out. No, I work at a nursing home and they need help smoking. They have the right to smoke, so I have to light their cigarettes or whatever.
Is that like is that like in the Bill of Rights? Is the right to smoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's number 12.
It's 6.5.
Okay.
Amendment 7.
Yeah. 6.5 Amendment 7.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know who wrote it.
Yeah.
I work in Missouri, so what do you
Thomas
expect?
Jefferson wrote it.
Thomas Jefferson. Yeah. So anyway, I thought the imagery was really cool of a bloody man in a suit, mangled face, smoking a cigarette.
The visuals?
Yeah,
like because you can't see his face, you can see like the eyes, and you can tell his face is bloody because the shine.
Right, and like his his teeth were really gnarled on this side. Yeah.
So it happens when you slide on the road.
Yeah, this is what smoking will do to you.
Yeah, it is.
At this point in the film is where a lot of those really crappy composite shots.
Yes.
Of bloody face in the back. I mean, they didn't even look like it. None of it looked like they were existing in the same dimension or existence. But
you mean like because like the front and the so did they come? Oh, because he's in the back, so it's not even the same.
Right.
See, because I didn't even pick up on that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because he's in the back, so technically they're not even looking back at anything.
Right.
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Knowing the ending and how the story goes, I guess
that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. Anyway,
But anyway, the composite shots suck.
They're horrible.
They're really bad.
But remember,
like tearing.
I have a theory on why that is.
Okay.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Man, he got into a lot of trouble a while back.
Yeah, let's not talk.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Anyway,
we like him still.
So
not for that.
No.
Let's clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, we like Neil deGrasse Tyson, not for the actions like his other stuff.
His advancements of
science, and making science fun,
and getting rid of idiots,
things like that, and getting rid of idiots.
Yeah. So Dick and Bloodyface kind of get into it.
Yeah.
Bloodyface acts like he knows Gina.
He acts like he knows both of them almost, right?
But he kind of calls out Gina in like really secretive way
because of the whole like
strip club.
Yeah,
thing.
I used to go to the strip club a lot. Do you know anyone who works there? And she's like, no. Which he acts so mad. Like Thomas. Well, okay, so Dick acts so mad about that because he's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me you were there. You just married her yesterday. You thought you were going to know everything about her. You probably found her at that strip club."
But wasn't Bloodyface telling? Or no, Gina was. Oh, we'll get that later. Sorry, I'm bouncing ahead. I just need to make sure I get paranoid. Make sure we're still recording. Okay, so Okay, so Bloodyface and Dick get into it. They get into a fight. The fight scene was rough, man. Like, rough in a bad way. I mean, the fight scene was good, but then when Bloodyface is on the ground and Dick's on top of him and he's swinging the rock, did you see just how much air he
was missing? Yes.
But knowing the end of the movie, do you think that's intentional? Or do you think it was just a bad angle to shoot that?
That's a good explanation for it.
A bad shot?
I think they just messed it up. Now,
if
they would have came out and said, like, the way I would have done that if you were doing that is like he's sitting there in the car and he does like a flashback and like he realizes he's like swinging at
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll have to listen to the commentary to find out for sure. Of course, he could be lying.
Well, he could just be like, yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, sure. I meant to do that. Yeah.
Well, Zack Snyder in the Justice League. Do you know the whole debacle in the Justice League? Okay, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Anyway, basically, he's taking credit. He's like, "Did you really mean this?" Because the movie was such a huge flop.
Yeah.
And he got fired. Well, he left because his daughter committed suicide, and he left, and another director came on.
Right.
And no one could tell what was Zack Snyder.
So he just took credit for all the good ones.
He's just like, so in your movie, did you mean for this? And he's like, yes.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yep. Do you like that? Yeah. Then yes.
Which part of that did you like? Well, I thought it sucked. Wait, actually, that wasn't me.
That was the other director.
Yeah, that's the ultimate cop out.
Okay, so Bloodyface is dead.
Yeah.
The marriage is just fucking over at this point. Gina.
No, I think they can turn it around.
Really? So Gina and Dick are going at it. Gina's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. He's like, no, we're in this together. And Gina's like, you fucking killed
Well, and
him.
then they're instantly talking about like ways that they're going to get busted by the cops.
Yeah.
They're a good couple. They're thinking about the same thing.
They're in it together.
They're in it together. They're both going to go to jail, prison, etc.
So there's a little more shoe leather where they try to find a spot to bury Bloodyface.
Yeah.
At this point, Dick isn't really trusting Gina. He's a little mistrusting of Gina because of what Bloodyface said. The digging of the grave, that seemed kind of comical.
Yeah. Very. Because the part where they're like they don't dig far enough, like his body was laying right there.
Yeah,
you should have known.
So the grave.
This part seems 5.5 feet. He's 6 feet tall.
The grave.
We didn't dig this far enough.
His feet were sticking out, so he walks around and pulls up on his shoulders as if this side all of a sudden is going to be longer.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Well, fuck that." Didn't
work. Like why? What did you think was going to happen? Not nearly deep enough. They dug that about 2 feet.
Well, it's the desert, man. It's different.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true.
And then
let's go to a spot where no one's going to find him, and then they find it again instantly.
Yeah, well, that's true. So then Gina's like, well, just cut the head off. He's like, I'm not fucking cutting the head off. And so then
at that point,
and then
you're a murderer.
Dick drops down like a dog in a cartoon and starts like
digging and
he's like, cover him up.
Yeah.
By the way, how practical and efficient is it to dig a hole with a tire iron
and sand like that?
Yeah.
Probably better to just scoop it with your hands.
That's what I was saying. Gina was going to town.
Like, imagine if you did that at like a beach. You're like, hey, here, I don't have any toys for you, but here's a tire iron. You'd be like, thanks, Dad. I'll dig with my hands. I got it.
So anyway, Gina covers the body up. He goes back to the car. He starts snooping in the purse and finds the classic.
Can we go back a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Rewind. Remember that part where she's like, how do you know his name? How does he know your name? And he like pulls up his bag and he's like, see? And it's got like his luggage and his luggage tag on it.
Yeah.
But like how quickly he was like, yeah, see, he doesn't know me. He read this. Yeah, like a guy who's just got hit by a car is going to be like, oh, some nice reading material here in the back.
My face is all fucked up, but I got.
Oh, this is interesting.
I got 20/20 vision.
He's from New Jersey. All right.
I also going back to that. I thought it was funny because he's like, yeah, Dick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
So back up to that scene a minute. When he says, yeah, Dick, I thought he was just saying the guy was a dick.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was calling.
He's like, how do you know your name was Dick? I was like, he was just calling me a dick. I don't know.
My name's Frank.
I don't know. See, that's the part where he's like, yeah, Dick. And he's like, how does he know your name? I was like, wait, his name's Dick?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
I had no idea. Yeah. And then when they brought it up, he's like, well, Richard, yeah. But but then when they brought that up, that's why like I had no idea. And they just like sprung it on you like, oh, hey, Dick. And because I thought he was just, because I start laughing at that point. He's like, "Isn't that right, Dick?" And he's just like some asshole in the back of the car, just calling him a dick.
Some dude with a fucked up face is calling me a dick.
Who I'm saving, almost hit with my car, saving his life, and he's calling me a dick. Like, you can get the fuck out right now.
So
back to the digging scene.
Gina's burying Bloodyface. Dick is in the car, finds the classic noir gun, the snub nose.
Yeah.
And which is a cool name for a character.
Why was he snub nose pissed about that? Why was he so pissed about that? Because they don't know each other.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be like, what the? Why is there a gun in there?
It's all right. As long as she doesn't kill me with it. Okay. Which I guess you can't say after you've been shot. You're like, oh man, you should have told me you had a gun as you're bleeding to death.
Well, see, it's funny. Okay, so he finds the gun, and then you can tell he kind of wanted to bring it up, and I laughed at this because if I was in this situation, this is he tries to bring it up slyly.
Yeah,
he's like so anyway, so he puts the gun back, or no, he takes the gun.
Yeah.
And they're driving off, and you can tell he's trying to like find out why she has a gun.
Yeah.
And he does it in the least smooth Adam Tipton way. He's like,
no. Here's my thought on this. It was very much of the every guy does that. Because it's every guy trying to outsmart any woman he's ever talked to in his life.
Because he's like,
and just like fucking it up on the very first chance.
He's just driving. He's like, man, this is the last time I drive through the desert at night. I wish I had a gun.
He'd be like, you know what would be good to have in the desert? A gun.
What are your thoughts on
guns? What do you like? Do you like guns?
The least smooth way. Then she's like,
no, I hate them.
And then he gets really ego. He's like, what about this?
What is this?
And I'm like, that's how I would fucking do it.
It's instantly. It's like the guy's recipe is like, find out if she's lying about what you're talking about, and then instantly prove her wrong. Not save it. This is why women are much better in arguments and things like that than men are usually, because we'll just throw it all out right away. Like girls will save stuff for like weeks.
They keep like aces in the hole,
they save it, man. Because like you fuck up once and you didn't hear about it.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna hear about it at some point. You just don't know when. It's gonna be like that. Well, Jeff, why did you fuck up 6 years ago and blow up the mailbox? And you're like, oh, damn it, she got me again.
So it's at that point we hear the story of she started working at the Cheetah for extra money, and
is that the name of the place?
The strip club, yeah.
I'm surprised you remembered that.
Yeah. Well, you know me.
He looked it up to see if there's an address for it.
I did. There actually is no strip club called Cheetah.
Wow. Business opportunity.
At least not in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Anyway, so she tells the story how she became a dancer for extra money, and she had met a man who became extremely infatuated with her.
Aggressive, yeah.
Very aggressive.
Eventually.
Found some sort of weird... He developed some sort of weird relationship where he thought she was his, and that's how she purchased the gun. And then...
she was scared of him.
Then at some point down the line, she met Dick. Okay, so...
I feel like she met a lot of that.
So now we enter the rest area.
Yeah.
Okay, so they pull over. They get undressed and like wiping the blood off. Okay, so this is where we see the dirty face or whatever, where we think they're both covered in dirt and blood.
Yeah, where I got that imagery of Texas Chainsaw remake.
Okay, at that point, so they're sitting in the car. They're covered in dirt. They're covered in sweat. What do you think it smells like in that car?
I bet it smells like, because they haven't changed in like, so here's the thing, like time doesn't really move on in this movie.
No, it's like
I'm just like, all right, if this is like, you only have like a few hours left to figure this stuff out. Like a lot of stuff happens.
Yeah, it's like a weird out of time displacement thing.
I mean, I guess if the sun would have went down to like, what, 9? Let's say it's summer and 9 and you have until like, what, 5 in the morning? 8 hours?
Yeah.
So I guess it's an hour and a half movie, so you could have fit that hour and a half in anywhere.
That's true. But... To me,
I bet it smells like rank, disgusting, dirty, sweaty BO. Disgustingness because she's already in the car, and they didn't clean that up either.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
I wrote "sexy blood sweat rot."
Sexy blood sweat
because
I don't know if it'd be
bloody face was back there.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like he was back there. There's blood everywhere. Yeah.
So I wrote. In my mind, I picture sexy blood sweat rot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not sexy though. I don't think anything about what that car smells like would be sexy. Like, yeah, I want to get off to this.
Well, whatever you're into.
Oh, okay. So, well, I think we learned some things today, listeners.
So they pull into the
rest area,
and they're changing clothes and wiping each other's blood off.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, we don't want to show anyone here, and there's no one.
Yeah, well, there's multiple cars there. But so then they get clean. They somehow get really clean,
quote unquote clean.
Yeah, but then they go to the bathrooms. I'm like, why even just go? You
just did everything. Yeah.
Well, I guess he threw away the clothes
in the trash can.
Yeah,
and hers.
Yeah,
and I did like how they added subtle things like, oh, where's my shorts? Like things you would say in there. I really like that part.
And it was awkward.
It stuck out. They're like, oh yeah, have you seen my shorts?
Speaking of subtle things like that. When the two were walking to the bathroom, they cut out the soundtrack, and all you hear is like the cold wind, the gravel beneath their foot, underneath their feet.
They have 1 foot between both of them,
and the annoying hiss of fluorescent lights.
Yes,
I have been like at campgrounds and
you talking about at night by yourself?
Yeah,
yes,
I have felt that. I have heard that noise and felt that cold wind. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, I've been there, dude.
Yeah.
Covered in blood. No.
Covered in blood and dirt. But, murdered a man. He's been there.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, right? We've all done that.
I'm 35.
Yeah, you've done several by this one.
So I kind of like that. It's at that point, Gina goes to the bathroom. Dick tries the payphone that's there. It does not work. Mm-hmm. He then realizes his watch is missing.
Yeah.
And he's like, we need to go back. And
I really love how she approaches that because she's like, stupid mistake.
Yeah. She's like, you're off. I ain't going back. Yeah. Well, it's got my name on it. She's like, I didn't fucking kill him.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, they're sleeping in the cars here. Keep your voice down. And she's at that like fugue state. She's like, I don't effing care, man. But then they have like a weird makeup session where he's like, look, we have our whole world in front of us, our whole life in front of us. I still want that. And she's like, yeah, all right, you got a gun, so whatever.
Guess I have to do what you say.
So he's like, okay, I'll go back. So he puts her on the park bench, gives her the gun. He takes back off to the grave site where they buried bloody.
I like how he gives her the gun like she's never used it before. She's the one who bought it.
Yeah.
It's like, this is how this, just take this to finish. Yeah, I know how a gun works. I bought this. Well, this is mine, not yours.
It's 2009. Mansplaining was a big thing.
Exactly. Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point, actually. Like, we saw the mansplain. Like, she bought the gun. Yeah. Like, I think she knows how to use it, bro.
So they go back to the grave. I just need to check to make sure we're still... Let's get paranoid. Okay.
Restart that one.
We're still recording. Let's start over again. Okay, now. So they go back to the grave. It's empty.
Yeah.
Bloody face is gone.
Right.
He's freaking out. Can't find his watch. He hears gunshots in the distance.
Yeah.
He freaks out. He starts hauling ass back to the rest area. Gene is nowhere to be found.
Right.
He starts looking through the cars. The cars have like mounds of dust.
Yeah.
Like they haven't been moved.
Yeah.
We meet our reoccurring favorite character of the movie, the Moth. The Moth returns.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. They're falling dead on the cars. They're surrounded by the fluorescent lights. He finds footprints. He follows the footprints off into the distance. He finds a buried hand with a wedding ring. It's not his wife.
Yep.
He freaks out and hauls ass away from the rest area.
Trying to find help, right?
I think he just like speeds away, right?
It's like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. Now,
see ya.
Does his headlights start going out?
Can I bring in two things?
Yeah.
One, the time when he's looking at like the map. And it says like, you are here.
I forgot that.
And there's nothing on the map.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was great.
Yeah.
And then like, I gotta say, I noticed the dust on the cars early. I was like, does it get that dusty in the desert? Like, did they just part? Or has this been here a while?
Right.
Like, I thought that, not knowing like where this was going.
Right.
And like, so I kind of thought that too. But the second part too that I love, and I'll go back to this again, is like, let's bury a body where no one can find it, except we'll find it twice in the middle of the night in a place we've never been before. Yeah. It's right down here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was driving on a trail.
He was.
Yeah, it was like,
which they drove in and out of there twice. Like, hey, these tracks, which they tried to cover their tracks in that old fashioned way of like covering everything.
Oh yeah.
But then they don't cover the tire tracks.
Yeah, good point.
So like they drove in and out of the same place twice. And there's tire tracks in there both times. Like, they're never going to find this body. Yeah, whatever. Sandstorm will come along.
So as he's speeding away, does his light start flickering on and off? I don't remember.
No.
No. Well,
No.
So
I remember the scene where this is back a little bit. The scene where like he's done burying the body and like he's messing around and then he looks up and she's gone. And then she's in the car next to him.
Yeah.
And then they can't get the car started and she gives him that look of like, are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah, let's get out of it. Yeah. Okay.
Like that kind of thing. I think that's what you're talking about, the lights flickering. I don't remember the lights flickering when he was driving away.
Well, so anyway, so he almost hits the sheriff or the deputy
Right.
or a cop.
Who is that actor?
Ron Perlman.
I've seen him in stuff before.
He is the dad from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
He's Hellboy.
Yes.
He's my favorite role is Genre from Alien Resurrection.
Yes. That might be my favorite one too.
I wrote, now that I think about it, I'm incorrect, but I wrote you would recognize his voice from True Crime Streets of LA, but that's not the one you played. You played the noir one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, never
He's
mind.
not in that one.
Yeah. Anyway.
But very good actor.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
In his role. Like was never going to be a lead anywhere, but like he's like when you picture that guy, he fits into that role perfectly.
I agree. So Dick and the sheriff or deputy or cop or whatever, they like spin out and they end up parallel with each other. I thought this was funny. I actually laughed. I don't know if it was meant to be funny. So they spin out.
Yeah.
Everything calms. The engines die. The dust settles, and then there's a beat of silence.
Yeah.
And then the lights come on.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I thought it was good too.
I don't know if it was meant to be funny.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny.
It's like they both had the moment like, what the fuck happened? Oh, shit. Let's turn the lights on.
It's like, oh yeah, you're fucking.
Or if the Ron Perlman character's done this before, he's like, motherfucker. All right. And then flips it.
Took a drink of his coffee real quick.
Like, shit. Okay.
God
all right.
damn it.
I gotta deal with this again.
Okay, so Ron Perlman's character is introduced like the scene. So the scene gets like filled full of bright light.
I like this scene a lot.
And he walks in.
Yeah.
So is that like a metaphor? Knowing where the story goes.
Before knowing where the story goes, I went so many directions with this to where I was like, is this the killer? Is it a cop that's going around killing people at rest stops? Like that would make sense. He just pulls them over and like murders them.
Right.
Or like, what's going on? Is he going to get busted? Because like the whole time I'm thinking like, okay, he's got like a lot of blood like all over his car. Because it's not like you can drag a bloody man in without getting some on the outside and the inside too, right?
Well, if you're careful.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're very careful. Don't touch the mats, right? But yeah. It was a very well shot scene in that like he comes out of the light. I thought he was going to be the killer. Turns out he wasn't. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dick explains the situation, the sheriff or cop, whatever he is, puts him in the back of the squad car, and they head back to the rest area. It's at this point Perlman explains to Dick how this particular stretch of desert. Do you spell desert with one S or two S's?
One.
Yes.
Unless you're talking about like cheesecake, then that's
no.
two
Okay,
S's.
I spelled it right.
And it's called pronounced dessert.
Okay.
Weird how you pronounce it differently. With two S's, you pronounce it shorter.
So Perlman explains to Dick how this particular stretch of desert is where a lot of prostitutes, gamblers, con men, and women, and mobsters are found dead.
I thought that was very interesting because I bet that's probably true for some area out there.
Oh yeah,
like that. Like no one comes out here unless they're dumping a body.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, like I'm sure that happens.
Then Perlman's character starts questioning Dick, thinking the two just got drunk and she was using him. Dick's like, no, it was true love, man.
He played a good cop in that he was asking questions that a cop would probably ask you if you ran into a guy. Back this up a second too, because the part where like he's like, well, park your car. Like he starts to walk back to his car. He's like, well, park your car. You can ride in mine. And then he like pulls on or whatever. They never show him parking, so I imagine there's just a car sitting in the middle of the road, and then it's a loop. Someone hits that car, and then it just keeps going over and over again. And then like that, and then like he looks in the car and there's no blood. Like he does, like you know how he's like, hold it here a second. He looks around the car, and doesn't notice any blood.
Yeah, or
like,
he didn't look in the trunk either.
Yeah,
I would assume you would look.
Yeah, well, you didn't have a search warrant.
So the two return to the rest area.
Yeah.
The cars are still there.
Yeah.
But everything else, the building structure is
gone.
The
signs, all that's gone.
The lamppost is gone, which is fucking weird because he's like, Dick's like, these are the cars from the rest area, and the sheriff's or the cops.
Yeah, it's almost like they were in a different spot. Like because doesn't he say like, did these all get moved here?
No, yeah, because the cop goes, no, this was the rest area 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, if they demolished everything, why didn't they just tow the cars away?
Yeah, they're like, let's get this billboard down. Let's get rid of these lights. What about these cars, Frank? It's not on the order. Leave them here.
Or union. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. We don't get paid to haul away cars. That's a Towman's union.
So besides everything being gone besides the cars, there's a bunch of cops surrounding the body, investigating the crime scene. Dick is watching the body being lifted from the hole from the back of the squad car. The body's Gina.
Yeah.
Okay. So
this part of the movie got very confusing for me.
Yeah, so he didn't recognize the wedding ring, but that's the body.
No, it was a different body.
It was a different body.
Yeah.
So there's multiple bodies.
There's a bunch of bodies there.
Okay.
All those people at the rest area are there.
Oh, okay. So at this point we are reintroduced to the fedora wearing character. Perlman, the cop, is talking to him. So he's some sort of fed or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like an investigator.
Okay. So we now enter the climax / car chase. Dick escapes and gets into one of the cars that have been sitting there for 30 years. A Charger.
Starts right up.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. As you do.
That's how gas works.
Yeah. It's exactly. It doesn't go off after a few months, and the batteries don't die, and the tires aren't flat.
Charger or Mustang? What was
Mustang.
it? Mustang. Okay. Hatchback?
Like a late '60s Mustang hatchback.
Okay. So all the cops are now in pursuit. The car chase wasn't too bad. I mean, there's not much they could do. It was the middle of an open area. So
Well, so this is the thing. Like, I think we've got so used to seeing car chases where it's like tight angles, shaky camera, cut to this one that's busting through like a market stall full of like fruit. When does that ever happen, by the way?
Plus, it was kind of cool to see because like in Fast and Furious and The Bourne Identity and all that, James Bond, they're always sitting really cool at the car.
Yeah.
But if you watch this movie, they're like bouncing around.
And like hopping around.
Yeah.
But the background's not moving in time with it. Yeah. But it's just one of those things where it's like it's weird to see a car chase like that because that's like how all of them were in the older movies that they're trying to like mimic. Right. But then like you see this one, it just seems like so slow. You're like,
yeah,
I see the car up.
Yeah, we were so used to getting a feel of speed.
By the editing and everything like that, and the shots. Yeah.
So with the cops closing in, Dick gets away by shutting his lights off to his car, Batman Begins style.
It's worked it twice now.
Would that actually? Because that clearly would. Because he turns the lights off.
I don't think he'd be able to see where he was going. Because you know the one part when they say like you turn the lights off, he's like, oh, there's enough moonlight to see anywhere I want to go. I don't think that's true.
So anyway, he eludes the cops. By that, he gets so far ahead, and then he turns his lights back on, and then his car is bombarded once again by our favorite character, the moth. And he gets pounded so hard by so many moths he can't see. He ends up flipping the car. What did you think about the CGI car crash? It looked like a video game, but
I thought it was god awful. I've seen video games that have much better.
But I felt like it fit. I kind of felt like it fit the vibe of the movie.
The cheesiness?
Yeah,
it did. So, like, I like Mystery Science Theater 3000 because, like, how they cut up bad movies like that.
Right.
And this one was very much of like, okay, this is funny because of how like bad this is.
Right. Okay. All right.
I kind of liked it a little bit, but it was still like it's one of those where like it's an inner struggle for me. Like that's so annoying that they just put it together like that and just left it. With several other scenes with cars in the movie where they did the same thing.
Right.
But part of me was kind of like, oh, that's kind of funny though. So
okay. So car crashes. We see the aftermath of the crash and the revelation that Dick was Bloody Face.
Yes.
He passes out and he wakes up in the back of Dick and Gina's car.
Predator voice.
Predator. You see the scene.
Or Predator hearing.
You see. Yeah. You see. Excuse me. You see that scene now through Bloody Face's perspective.
Right.
And then in the movie.
So I had several questions I was going to ask you after this movie that I didn't want to get to until we were doing this.
Okay.
First one, is this like a Groundhog Day loop where he's constantly just killing himself?
Well, see, that's the thing.
Or getting killed by himself?
Right. I'll bring that up. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, so did you watch the credits?
No.
Okay, so instead of having...
I made it through enough.
Okay, you're like
fuck this, I did my requirement C.
I don't like Adam this much.
Exactly.
So
you always make me sit through credits, though, and I hate it every time.
On,
but I do it just for you.
Thank you.
But this time I didn't, because you weren't around.
That's all right.
If you would have been around, I would have watched it with you.
Fair enough.
Or I probably would have went in the other room and got a drink.
Or got on your cell phone.
It got on my... Yeah, start pressing buttons.
So instead of music playing,
yeah,
the audio that's playing over top the credits was the audio from the beginning of the movie.
Like the noir stuff.
The dialogue and then the conversation between her and him.
Really?
Yeah. And
So I missed out like a whole part of the movie.
So the very last thing before the credits end, but there's no soundtrack. So they took out all the music from the beginning and it's just the dialogue. So the very last thing you hear is him talking about the story of him meeting a blonde in an elevator. So going back to your loop thing, but there was another thing which I thought was weird. There was no credit for the music. So did they just use stock music and they didn't have to
I think they must use generic.
Okay. So my point is, okay, so is it trying to do like a visual audio metaphor for a loop? So are they saying that as we're watching the credits, someone else is now watching the beginning of the movie?
Now that you tell me that, I could see that. But is it just constantly... That doesn't explain their other bodies, though. Because if it's constantly a loop of him killing himself and that girl's there and then killing the girl, like, that would just keep going. Why is there other couples there? That's the hole in the plot for me.
Or are they or all those bodies them? Like, those are his cars.
No, because remember on the rest scene, it was like dark-haired girl and some like dark-haired guy and different bodies and stuff there. So, like, I think that's the place where they, like, really kicked a giant hole in the plot for the script. Because, like, I don't, like, is it Groundhog Day where he's got to learn his lesson from killing himself?
Or is it some sort of, what did I write down? Okay. So, these are just my thoughts that I wrote down.
Yeah.
Feel free to jump in. So, the flick was a man stuck in some sort of elliptical purgatory. What was the original event? Was Dick the stalkerish man from the strip club and he kidnapped Gina and ended up killing her, and then he's living some sort of weird personal hell of, like, he's now burning in hell, and his personal hell thinks he can...
He has to keep repeating that?
Well,
thinks he can save...
Thinks he can, like, he doesn't realize, like, the devil or whatever has given him a personal hell where in his mind he is saving Gina, but he's literally going to kill her over and over. Then
he's going to wake up and realize it. But then the next, like, it's like he gets his memory Men in Blacked.
Yeah.
And then he, like, starts all over again.
Yeah.
That's the part I didn't get. Like, I don't understand why they didn't just say, like, he was the killer, he's been doing this. Besides the fact, was it supposed to be 30 years passed in between, like, when he got caught and when she pulled him out of when she got pulled out of the ground?
See, that was another thing.
Because, like, that body would not look like that.
See, that was another thing. Was the original timeline set back in the 50s, and then he relives that through the 60s, which would explain the muscle car, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s.
Because the cars were of different time periods each time.
Also, this is another point I wanted to bring up, which is why I thought he relived it through the different decades, was the odd inclusion of technology. Okay, so the beginning of the
cell phone.
So the beginning of the movie was kind of timeless. Like, it was, everything was just kind of had a retro feel, but still,
until you see cars on the road.
But still could exist. So you had the cell phone, the flip phone, and then when she started doing her sexual thing, he pulled out one of those early style, like, digital
the flip cameras. Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck?
What is this?
And then Ron Perlman was driving a very modern police car. But in the police chase, there was, like, cop cars straight out of the 60s and 70s that had the...
What do you think that was supposed to be, like, an homage to, like, this happens every time? So it's like a different police car every time because it's a different period of time every time you're seeing it?
And also, if you remember at the crime scene, the crime scene photographers, they were using the old-style cameras with the big light flash bulb that you had to take out and put a new one in.
And that hasn't probably been used in 20 years.
I kept thinking... I was like, why are there weird technology and then lack of technology?
It's like someone didn't go through this movie and be like, okay, because I think if I would have sat through this with somebody, I'm like, all right, what time period is this supposed to be right now? And then they'd be like, this. Okay, then why are you showing this?
Well, maybe it is some sort of weird timeless void that he exists.
Well, that would explain, like, the rose at the end of the road. Or not, whatever it was, the flower at the end of the road, and, like, the road just stops, because I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen anywhere. Like, why would you pave and maintain a road that just goes nowhere.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But like there was several parts, like, because if they went back and they had been there for 30 years, like this was the rest area 30 years ago. So was that happening 30 years ago? But then why were all the cars all dusty and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It just like there was like plot holes in it that like didn't make sense.
You know what we're gonna have to do?
What?
Watch the director's commentary.
I think we are gonna have to watch the director's commentary and then do the part 2 of this podcast.
Yes. Dark Country Part 2.
Now we have it. Now we've got it figured out. That's the tagline.
Who was the man in the fedora? He talked to Dick in the diner and then he was there at the crime scene.
2 things. One, he's either the investigator who likes to be an asshole, or is he the devil?
Okay.
And
or
he's watching it, or like some demon kind of thing,
yeah,
making him go through this for his own pleasure to watch it.
Fair enough. Let's see if I had anything else here. I had some closing facts about the movie that I got from Internet Movie Database.
Wow. Registered now, February 22nd.
Internet Movie Database, don't sue me.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane had...
That's not where we got the idea from.
Thomas Jane had voiced his disappointment over the fact that the studio didn't give the film a theater run, rather releasing it on DVD and not in the 3D format in which it was intended. Further disappointment comes with the fact that the release cut of the film is far from Jane's preferred vision. This is why some of the shots were meant to be 3D, and I'm thinking some of those really shitty composites
would have made sense in 3D.
Yeah,
that's a very good point. Because like some of the ones where the car's like sliding across the ground, you can tell it's not actually driving around.
Yeah,
like that I could see. Like there was something very weird about it, and now that makes a lot more sense. Like, oh, it's supposed to be 3D. That's why.
I'm curious. Yeah, because there's even one scene. I think it's when he's going to get bloody face, or when he's bending down to pick the flower up. I don't remember. Like there's a shot where he just reaches right towards camera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that was...
He was going to touch bloody face. He was going to touch his eyes.
That was clearly meant to be a 3D shot.
See, I wondered that, or if it's supposed to be like you're supposed to get in the view of the thing. Also, the part when he sits up at the end and he's looking through there and he's got like the predator hearing where he can't really hear what they're saying, or like the Peanuts hearing maybe.
Right. I know what you're saying.
He can't hear us. He can't sue us. Charles Schultz can't sue us anymore. No. Fine. But like he, like you have that kind of like hearing.
Yeah.
And that almost made me wonder if that was supposed to be 3D too, because you're seeing him and her turned around.
So
that would make a lot more sense.
Anyway, that was my theory on why some of the composite shots were...
You know, and that would make a lot more sense for... Okay, say that. What was the fact again? Let's give it to me one more time.
Thomas Jane had voiced his disappointment over the fact that the studio didn't give the film a theater run.
Okay, time out.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane, that wasn't going to be a theater movie. Like, let's face that. Like, if you would have looked at that and be like, yeah, I think that's good for theater, you'd be like, dude, no.
Do you know he played the Punisher? The man who said that, Thomas Jane, is Gary Davis.
Yeah.
He lives at Quincy, Illinois.
Come talk to me about it. We'll talk it over.
And if you come talk to him and not me,
hey, look, this could be a marketing move for me. I could be a realist. Like, hey, look, this movie's not very good, but there's things we can do to make it better. Let's re-release it. Let's do it right way. Let's get some of your money together. He's on that HBO show now, right? Or Showtime, whatever. I don't know. He's in like some big show.
He's on the Sci-Fi Expanse.
No, there's something else. I'll show you.
You talking about Hung?
Yes.
Oh, that show's over with.
Okay, well, he was on that. He probably made some good money from that.
His character had a huge penis.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
And it wasn't CGI either. It was really... I don't know. I never saw the thing. But anyway, like he... like let's... Like I could be like, hey, I'm just going to be your... I'm not going to be your yes man. I'm going to be your no man. But this isn't very good. But here's how we can make it better.
All right.
Like, let's do that.
Fair enough.
You know?
Be like his good Colonel Parker.
Yeah. Exactly. Just be like...
You don't know Colonel
No,
Parker.
I have no idea what you're talking
about.
That's
Elvis's yes man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do know Colonel Parker. Yeah.
All right.
But just be like, let's go this over. Like, let's face facts. This isn't going to be a theater release. But you got a good idea here. Let's steal another script from Suspense, and let's do that one good.
Well, the movie was based on a short story by the film's writer, Tab Murphy.
Tab,
yeah. Tab's other writing...
His parents really liked soda.
Tab,
his brother, Coca-Cola Murphy.
Here's my...
his sister, Fanta.
Here's my my brother, Cocaine.
Yeah. He had several twin sisters. Well, not several, like several sisters that were like, what's twins but not twins? Like more than two, like several.
Triplets?
Okay, the joke is that they're all named Fanta, and it's like flavors of Fanta, like orange, strawberry, and everything like that. All right, so whatever that would be, that's the joke.
Anyway, so the movie is
leaving that in.
Okay, I will. Oh, I don't do any editing. The movie is based on a short story by the film's writer Tab Murphy. Tab Murphy's other writing credits include My Best Friend is a Vampire, which you should check it out. It's a good 80s film. Disney's Tarzan.
I know someone who really likes 80s films.
You do?
Yeah. I might have to watch it sometime.
All right, I got it.
Continue.
I got it. You can borrow it. Disney's Tarzan.
As opposed to some of the other movies you won't let me borrow.
Yeah. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Atlantis as well.
Wait, which Hunchback?
The animated.
Disney one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And the...
How much writing do you have to do on that kind of script? I mean, because it's already a story.
You have to write... Well, you have to adapt it.
Oh, yeah, fair point. All right.
As well as multiple DC animated shows.
Okay, I will give you something. Tab Murphy, right?
Yes.
This was a very good script for the most part, except for the holes we just kicked in it. That sounds like a backhanded compliment, but it wasn't. I left that saying that I thought the script was good. Here's what happened. All those editing things, every time I started to get into it, the editing things kind of pulled me right back out of it. You know what I'm saying?
The bad comp.
Yes.
Okay.
Like right as soon as I start to get immersed in the movie, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I can do this. And then they bring in some dumb thing where I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot this movie is not, very good. But the writing, I thought the writing was like almost there. Okay. Except for those like continuity holes there that I feel like they didn't quite explain at the end.
Well, they shot the movie in 25 days, so it was
that
25 days for $4 million.
Seems like a movie you'd shot in 25 days.
Okay, in closing.
Yes.
I have 3 questions for you.
Yes.
If you weren't doing this podcast,
yes,
would you have seen this flick?
No.
Would you watch it again? Will you watch it again?
Will I watch it again? With commentary? Yeah.
Okay. And would you recommend this flick?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Like it's one of those ones where like it's interesting because it's not like I'll give it that it's not like another movie that you've probably seen before.
Okay. All right.
Do you get that vibe a little bit? Yeah. Like it's dumb and it's not very good, but it's one of those okay dumb. It's fun dumb.
Fun entertainment.
Shut
your brain off.
Shut your brain off for like an hour and a half, hour 20. Watch this. Watch the credits apparently because I missed like the whole of the story, and then do that. Yeah.
Okay. So here at Jane's Got a Pod,
yes,
we have a rating system out of 4.
Out of 4. No one does that.
But we do it different.
Okay.
Because all podcasts have to have a gimmick.
Yeah, we do ours out of 4.
No, we give it a Jane rating.
Jane rating.
So if it's 4 out of 4, it's full on Jane.
If it's what does that criteria mean?
If it's 3 out of 4, it's just a Jan. If it's 2 out of 4, it's just a Ja.
Ja or Ja, like in German. Like it means yes in German.
Yeah, and so on and so on.
Just J.
Yes.
Just J.
It's pointless and ridiculous.
Okay, give me the criteria for this.
Though there is no criteria.
So it's just like, if you think is it most Jane?
How much Jane do you give this movie?
I don't know that I don't know a lot about Thomas Jane, admittedly. So I'm gonna say, since he directed it and was in it, I'm gonna say 3 Janes. It's Jan. It's gonna be Jan.
It's gonna be a Jan.
It's gonna be a Jan.
It's gonna be a Jan. Not only did he direct it and star it, he played 2 characters in it.
That's true. He did.
He talked to himself and fought himself.
He fought himself.
He probably had a stunt double for that.
Okay, so back to that scene where he gets killed. Mm-hmm. Why didn't they obviously missing? You could have just laid a mannequin on the ground, beat the mannequin's head in,
or just use a different angle.
Yeah. Not so obvious that you're clearly like, I gotta stop the rock, and then
yeah. So I wonder if it was intentional.
Hit something.
There's only one.
That's what I meant. Yeah, we should ask him.
There's only one way to know.
Can we call him?
Director's comment. Well, he's kind of busy right now.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. What's he doing right now?
He won't return my text.
Oh, okay. All right.
He keeps sending me the middle finger emoji.
He's probably home not listening to this. That's what he's doing right now.
So you give it a Jan. I give it a Jan too. 3 out of 4.
Yeah. And why?
It checked a lot of boxes for me. The noir vibe.
Yeah.
I
knew you'd love that.
The comic book feel. Yeah, you nailed it.
It might have already been a 2 as soon as it started, and it was the muffled trumpet.
The classic horror and thriller comics feel of it. The cropped hair from Thomas Jane is always a win for me. The pulpiness of it all, just like you said, just the fun.
Yeah.
Like just Rod Sterling, Twilight Zone feel. I'd be kind of interested to see what it would be like in 3D if some of those shots get fixed.
Let's remake it, Thomas Jane. Let's do it. Get us in on this so we can get it cut.
I don't think the car crash would change in 3D format.
No. And see, okay, so here's the thing. Like, there's things you can't shoot in 3D. Well, that doesn't make sense. There's things that are going to look worse in 3D if you try to do it right. Are there like certain things like, hey, don't shoot this in 3D because it's probably gonna look like crap?
Well, there's certain things that are harder to shoot in 3D. Nighttime shots obviously are harder to shoot in 3D. Things. Which a lot of this movie, what takes place at night, wasn't shot at night. It was day for night. You could tell.
Oh, you could clearly tell.
Yeah, which added to the charm. I felt. I don't.
No, because you're talking about like the old movie.
Yeah,
feel to it.
Clearly, they weren't trying to hide it. They weren't pulling a trick. They were just like, "Look, guys, this is the vibe."
You think they got halfway through? They're like, "We can't hide it." Let's just do it.
I mean, I feel like it was just like this is the vibe of the flick. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be anyway. So I give it a Jan.
Yeah.
So. Any other comments before I close?
Yeah, so I thought that, like, if they would explain a little bit more about it, I think it would be good. I think that if we would, I forgot where I was going with this. You can cut this part out.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm all done unless you got something else you want.
No.
Okay. All right. Well. This has been the first episode of Jan's Got a Pod. If you like this episode and you like Thomas Jane, then please check out upcoming episodes.
Or if you don't like Thomas Jane and just like jokes.
Yeah. Just please click. I don't care.
Just click on it. Give us money.
You don't even really have to listen. Just hit.
Do I get paid for this?
Just hit. No.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I have another one already lined up. My plan is to go through his entire filmography. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one episode a month or 2 a month. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I want to do another one.
Well,
several more.
Well, yeah. I'm probably going to ask you back on every single.
Okay.
one.
All right. Good.
Okay. If you have a particular film you want to be talked about, or you want to know more about Thomas Jane, or if you are Thomas Jane, email.
Especially if you're Thomas Jane.
Especially if you're Thomas Jane. Email the show at jangotapod@gmail.com.
You think his friends call him Tommy? Like Tommy Jane? Tommy J?
His real name's Thomas Elliott.
Tommy J's?
You know?
Thomas Elliott.
Thomas Elliott.
That's a good... Why didn't you stick with that name?
That's his dad's name.
Email that to us, too. Like, get in contact with us, Thomas Jane, and then say, why'd you pick Elliott?
That's his dad's name. He didn't like his dad, so he went with his mom's name.
Well, that just got really sad.
Yeah, it did. On that note. No,
Thomas Jane, we'll forget about that part. Just email us.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Please check out my other podcast in the DCP universe. Damage Control Podcasting, a weekly show I do with Daniel, Tyler, and Cody. We talk about the conventions, ideas, and genres of filmmaking. You can find that show and this show on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, as well as Twitter. Closing note, it is February 22nd. I wanted to premiere the show on this date because it is Thomas Jane's birthday today. So happy birthday.
It's also Adam's birthday today.
Yes.
Happy birthday!
Which is the reason why I get made fun of a lot, because I like things for weird reasons. So I started liking Thomas Jane for that reason, but I ended up actually liking Thomas Jane. So
what actor is born on my birthday?
When's your birthday?
December 24th.
Oh, okay, I'll look it up. Hang on.
I want this in the pod though.
So stay tuned for the next episode of Jane's Got a Pod.